What's up, everyone? It's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be revisiting Crystal Beast, as since the last time I did them, we've had time with the Advanced Crystal Beast card, along with the adaptations of new formats. But anyways, before I begin, if you could happen to click on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons, it would be greatly appreciated, as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. Clicking on those notification bells would also mean a lot, as they help notify you when I upload on the channel. So for these first few combos, and this one in particular, you can actually use either Crystal Bond, Rainbow Bridge, or the Sapphire Pegasus that we just searched. And you'll see that we're not going to end on too much, but this is sort of what Crystal Beasts want to do, as it is a control-based deck. And you're going to see that we're going to use the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to get a second level 4. And in most cases, you would actually get the Advanced Sapphire Pegasus just for it to be a different name. But I wanted to show that it could be any level 4, as we'll search the Rainbow Dragon, and then from here we'll go into our Baguska, and this is what you would technically pass on from your low resource plays. In different formats it may be Dweller or another rank 4, but this is where this deck kind of shines in regards to using strong Floodgate rank 4s with low resource plays that get you there in formats that call for it. But with that being said, I would like to state that I'll also talk about different directions as we progress through the video, so I'll take you on to the second combo. Now this one takes Rainbow Bridge of the Heart along with any Advanced Crystal Beast, and I want to use the Advanced Crystal Beast here in particular because they would be dead in the hand if not for Rainbow Bridge. And we're going to start this combo by activating the Rainbow Bridge, as we can then use its effect destroying the Advanced Crystal Beast from our hand, getting ourselves into the pond. And as you see, this is basically the same thing as last time, as we get the Pegasus, put the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon into the spell and trap zone, normal summon our Pegasus, and then use its effect, getting us the Advanced Crystal Beast Carbuncle, as we'll use the effect of the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, getting us the Advanced Sapphire Pegasus, as we'll then be able to get into our rank 4 access, as we also get the Rainbow Dragon off the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. So again, kind of repetitive, but that's what these first 3 combos are meant to be, for those that are looking to learn the deck or just want to see what it does. Now in this third combo, we'll see what happens when you get the Awakening, plus an ultimate crystal monster. In this case it'll be Rainbow Dragon, and from here we'll activate the Awakening, as you can do this in the draw phase if you want to play around the draw. But we're going to get our Rainbow Bridge, and then from here we'll activate the Rainbow Bridge, get its effect, which will allow us to add the Bond. And then from here we can use the Bond effect, which will get us the Pegasus, put the Carbuncle into the spell and trap zone, as we're going to normal the Pegasus, use its effect. This will get us the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. We'll use the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to get us into the Pegasus, and then we'll be able to get another copy of Rainbow Dragon, as now we have rank 4 access to go into our Baguska, which is probably the best rank 4 to go for this format. But yeah, another combo basically ending in the same thing with different cards. So now I'll be showcasing 2 different combos with Crystal Bond and Rainbow Bridge, and I want to show how you can do basically the same thing with different cards that you end up getting off of these 2 searchers. So we'll start here by activating the Rainbow Bridge. We'll be able to add ourselves the Awakening. We'll then activate the Crystal Bond, and then from here we'll get ourselves the Pegasus along with the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, normal summon the Pegasus, as we'll get ourselves the Carbuncle. From here we can activate the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, as we'll get ourselves the Advanced Sapphire Pegasus. We'll get ourselves the Rainbow Dragon to hand. From here we can finally activate our Awakening, which will let us reveal the Rainbow Dragon from our hand, and we're going to send the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation to the graveyard this time around, as we want to use the effect in order to get 2 searches, as we're going to get the Cobalt Eagle along with the Necro Valley, and you want to do it in this order so that you can use the effect of the Eagle in your hand. And then from here we'll be able to add the Advanced Dark to our hand, allowing us to access both field spells, as we'll activate the Advanced Dark, and then from here we'll bring out the Carbuncle, and now we have access to a rank 4 plus a body, which is important because of what we're about to do, as I'm going to go into the Merrymaker, then we're going to jump up into the Sargus, and then from here we can use the Sargus effect in order to get us the Regulus, And now we have access into IP Masquerena with a machine in the graveyard for the Regulus, giving us an Omni negation with access into Nightmare Unicorn. We still can activate Necro Valley, which can be even stronger against certain matchups. So this goes back to showing directions that you can take if you don't want to use the extra deck space on this or even the main deck space with the Regulus. You can always bypass it, but I felt this gives the deck an option of being more universal with its going first boards than just having to end on the format favorite card that may not do as well in diverse formats such as this one. Now this time around we'll start with the same two cards as stated before, but we'll be adding a different thing off the Rainbow Bridge, I believe. And we're going to start here with the Sapphire Pegasus, get ourselves the Carbuncle. We'll use the Rainbow Bridge as we're going to add ourselves the Crystal Beacon, and now we can activate the Crystal Beacon, getting ourselves the second Pegasus, and the Pegasus will be able to get another Crystal Beast onto the Spell and Trap Zone as we get the Advanced Sapphire Pegasus. And this is an important thing that you want to kind of know in regards to the most important cards to have in your Spell and Trap Zones, and I would say that it's the three of these, as they also hold the highest priority to get there in my opinion, but we'll cover those as the video goes on. I'm going to use the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon now, getting ourselves the cat, and then from here we'll have a body along with rank 4 access, so we'll basically be able to do the same thing as we're going to go into our Sargus off the Merrymaker, use the Sargus to get the Regulus, and then from here we can link away into the IP Masquerena, use the Regulus effect in our hand to bring itself out. And I want to point out that instead of getting the Sargus, you can also get yourself back the Merrymaker if you go for your fusions that shuffle everything back, because it just gives you another rank 4 to go into, shuffles back the Regulus, and if you were to use the Regulus again from your hand, you would actually be able to re-equip the Sargus, and best case scenario maybe even shuffle that back and then go into your Merrymaker and do it again. But I know it's a little bit of a stretch and it definitely requires specific game states, but because it could happen, I feel like I have to bring it up. Now this is another replay where I'll show on direction, and again you're going to see Crystal Bond. This one can be Sapphire Pegasus as well. We're going to start here by special summoning out the Fenrir. Using the Fenrir's effect, we'll get ourselves the Rise Heart, and then we'll use the Crystal Bond, which will get us the Pegasus. We'll then be able to normal the Pegasus here as we'll use its effect, getting ourselves the Advanced Dark Carbuncle, and then we'll use the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to get ourselves into the Dark Sapphire Pegasus, as we'll also get our Rainbow Dragon. We'll go into the Merrymaker, then jump up into the Sargus, and then we're going to use the Sargus to get ourselves the Regulus. We can then use the Rise Heart, as we'll then be able to have access into a rank 7. And this is what I meant about direction and some of the technical stuff that you can do when playing these cards, because as you see before we banish the Fenrir, the Rise Heart is a level 4 that you can use for your rank 4s, but you can also turn it into level 7, and what this allows you to do is go into the Rise Falcon. The Rise Falcon can actually get you an extra name into your graveyard if you need to, and in this case it also triggers your Sargus, which Sargus can just pop itself here, and I know that this isn't necessarily optimal or something that you may not want to do often, but it does get you access into the Regulus. And this was just a replay I kind of wanted to show because it shows a couple of important interactions, which is being able to get a Sargus pop, putting it into the graveyard if you need to for the Regulus, and on top of that it gets you an extra name into the graveyard, which I also felt was worth mentioning. At the same time, you can go for any other rank 7 if you don't want to play the Rise Falcon, or if we get something better to end on turn 1. This one wasn't necessarily meant to be a combo, as it was more intended to be a tool for ideas. Now this one will take Pegasus plus the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, and this is something cool about Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, as we're going to normal summon the Pegasus, put the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon into the Spell and Trap Zone, activate the Crystal Bridge, and now we can pop Pegasus from our board and put it into the Spell and Trap Zone, also getting us the Awakening to our hand, and from here we can use the effect of the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, which will get us into another copy of Pegasus, or it can get you into the Advanced Dark one, but we're going to get ourselves the Rainbow Dragon to our hand which will make the awakening live, and now we can activate the awakening, which will reveal the Rainbow Dragon, and from here we can bring out the Carbuncle, as the Carbuncle will be able to special summon out the Pegasus, and then from here we can use the Pegasus effect, which will get copy of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to the spell and trap zone for follow-up, as we can then go into our Merrymaker, and sort of like our previous combos, we can go into the Sargus. This will give us access into the IP Masquerena, that we can then use the Regulus in our hand to give us the Omni negation by bringing back the Sargus or the Merrymaker for it. Finally, we'll start getting into the more serious combos, and this one takes Rainbow Bridge plus Crystal Bond, I know again, and Foolish Burial Goods. And we're going to start this one by activating the Crystal Bond. I would say that if you have a hand full of extenders, you could activate the Crystal Bond first as Ash Bait so that you could play with the rest of your hand, but it depends on what the rest of your hand is. In this scenario where we just have 3 cards and they're all gas, decided to use the Crystal Bond first to get ourselves the Pegasus. See that we have the Crystal Beast now in our spell and trap zone, as we can use the Rainbow Bridge, getting ourselves Crystal Beacon, and now we can activate the Crystal Beacon to get ourselves another copy of Pegasus. Pegasus will then put the Advanced Dark Pegasus onto the spell and trap zone. We'll use the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon in order to bring out the cat, and add ourselves a Rainbow Dragon, as we're now going to use the goods in order to get the Salvation to the graveyard. The Salvation will then be able to get us a search for the Necro Valley and the Advanced Dark Cobalt Eagle, which will use the Eagle's effect in order to get us the Advanced Dark. And with the Advanced Dark on board now, we have access to the Carbuncle, which will give us 2 extra bodies. We're going to special summon it with its effect and also bringing out the Pegasus. The Pegasus will get us an extra name, as we're now going to go into our Cherubini with our 2 level 3s, use the Cherubini in order to send the Carbuncle. We'll then be able to go into our Dugaris, as we'll use its effect, getting us 2 draws here and a discard, and you're going to see that I have the Dark Blades, and this is meant to be any monster plus any card, and the reason that I'm doing this is because there's 2 different things that you can do, and if you do happen to have the monster, you can make Cross Sheep, which we just did. If not, you would make Appaloosa. Because we do have the Dark Blade in the graveyard, we can special summon out the Crystal Beast now. We can special summon out the Rainbow Dragon now, as we'll go into our first Crystal Beast fusion, the Overdrive, as we'll then be able to trigger the Cross Sheep, which will bring us back the Dark Blade from the graveyard, or really just any monster that you ended up pitching that you could special summon. And now, because we have 2 more monsters, we can go into the IP Masquerena, and we can finally activate the Necro Valley. So this line here is if you do want to play Avramax, which does give the deck a boss monster that is hard to get over. It may not always work too great with Crystal Beast fusions, but I felt it was still worth noting. So now for this next one, we'll be using Crystal Bond with Awakening and Rainbow Dragon. And we'll start this one by activating the Awakening. We'll then be able to get ourselves a Pegasus along with the effect of the Pegasus, which will get us into our Carbuncle. We'll activate the Crystal Bond, and this will get us a copy of Cobalt Eagle this time around, the advanced one, along with an advanced Pegasus into our spell and trap zone. Here we'll then be able to use the Cobalt Eagle to get ourselves the advanced Dark, and then we'll use the advanced Dark so that we can use our Carbuncle that's in the spell and trap zone, as it's the Advanced Dark version, so we need the Advanced Dark. And from here we'll use the Advanced Dark Pegasus to get ourselves the Advanced Dark Cat. And now we can go into our Merrymaker, jump into our Sargus. We'll use the Sargus, which will get us the Regulus. As you see, we have the extra body on board like in previous combos, so this will give us the IP Masquerena along with the Regulus on board. And I would really say that the only thing that kind of sucks about these lines in specific is that the Sargus play is vulnerable to Nib, but then you also have to consider Advanced Dark turns every Crystal Beast into Dark, so you can get super polyed at awkward times. That's something that you have to remember. The final combo before I get onto the test hand, and it'll be a combo without Crystal Bond, which will actually happen to be the craziest one. I say without Crystal Bond, but it'll be without Crystal Bond in the starting 3. We're going to start this one by normal summoning our Pegasus, as we'll then be able to get ourselves the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, activate our Bridge of the Heart, as we'll then be able to use its effect, popping the Pegasus. We'll put the Pegasus into the spell and trap zone, getting ourselves the Crystal Bond, activate the Crystal Bond, which will get us into another copy of Pegasus with a carbuncle onto the trap zone, as then we'll be able to get an extra normal summon as we go into our Pegasus. And then from here we'll get ourselves the Advanced Dark Sapphire Pegasus, as we'll be able to use the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to get ourselves into the cat, get ourselves a Rainbow Dragon, as we'll then be able to activate the Awakening, as we now have Rainbow Dragon in hand. And now we can get ourselves the Send for Salvation, as the Salvation will get us into the Advanced Dark Cobalt Eagle along with the Necro Valley. And from here we can use the Cobalt Eagle to get ourselves the Advanced Dark, activate the Advanced Dark, and now we have two monsters that we can special summon off the Advanced Dark Carbuncle, as we'll get ourselves the Advanced Dark Pegasus on board as well, use its effect, which will get us into the Advanced Dark Cat. And then from here we'll go into the Cherubini, as we'll use its effect, putting the Carbuncle into the graveyard, as we'll then go into our Merrymaker. We can then jump up into our Sargus, use the Sargus effect, which will get us the Regulus, and then from here we can go into our Cross Sheep, as we'll then be able to use our Regulus from our hand to special summon it out, attach either the Sargus or the Merrymaker to it, as we're going to then out the Rainbow Dragon, go into the Overdrive, as we'll then be able to trigger the Cross Sheep, bringing out the Carbuncle. The Carbuncle will then be able to special summon out both our Crystal Beasts. We'll be able to get the Pegasus effect, which will get us a Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. And then from here we're going to go into an Appaloosa for 4 and fuse away into our second fusion, giving us a 4 material Appo, along with the ability to even get an attack boost off the Overdrive. Keep in mind that in a real game you might actually keep a Pegasus. Just wanted to show that you can keep a Crystal Beast name and then boost its attack if you need to for whatever reason. But you'll also want to do this before the Necro Valley, as you do have to banish it from your graveyard, as we can then activate the Necro Valley and fortify our end board. Now for this final one, we'll be drawing a full test hand, and I decided to just go hand that I could possibly think of regards to just having gas. I'm going to start this one by special summoning out the Fenrir. We can then use the Fenrir's effect in order to get ourselves a search. From here we'll then be able to normal summon the Pegasus, use the Pegasus to get ourselves the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, as we'll activate the Bridge of the Heart, pop the Pegasus. Then from here we'll be able to add Crystal Bond, as we'll activate the Crystal Bond, get ourselves another copy of Pegasus, putting the Carbuncle into the Spell and Trap Zone, as we'll then get the extra normal summon off Bridge. The Pegasus, as we'll use the Pegasus to get our Advanced Dark Pegasus, activate the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon to get our cat, and then from here we'll also get our Rainbow Dragon, as we'll be able to activate the Awakening. We'll reveal the Rainbow Dragon, as we'll then be able to send the Salvation, use the Salvation's effect, which will get us into the Cobalt Eagle along with the Necro Valley. We'll then activate the Advanced Dark Cobalt Eagle, as we'll get ourselves the Advanced Dark, and then we'll activate the Advanced Dark so that we can activate our Carbuncle that's in the Spell and Trap Zone, bringing out our 2 Advanced Dark Crystal Beasts, as we'll then trigger the Pegasus to get ourselves the Advanced Dark Cat, and then we can go into our Keru, use the Keru's effect, which will send the other Carbuncle, and then from here we can go into our Merrymaker, as we can then jump into our Sargus, use the Sargus effect in order to get us into the Regulus. From here we can link away into Cross Sheep, activate the Regulus in our hand. You'll see that we're going to get the Merrymaker back, as we're going to special summon out the Rainbow Dragon, go into our Overdrive, as we'll then be able to trigger the Cross Sheep, back our Carbuncle, which will get us back an extra Crystal Beast name, as we're then going to be able to go into our Appaloosa for 3 here, as we'll then be able to banish the rest of our Crystal Beasts in the graveyard in order to go into the second fusion. And keep in mind that I think in this particular combo you actually had to special summon out the Advanced Dark Cat in order to get the extra name into the graveyard. We aren't done yet, as we'll be able to activate the Rainbow Bridge, getting ourselves the Conclave, and then we can set the Conclave along with activating the Necro Valley, rounding out our end board. So finally, with all the combos out of the way, this is the deck list, and it's a deck list based on a first place list I found from another channel that I will be posting in the description. I don't remember their names. Sorry about that. It was a small YouTube channel I hadn't even seen before, so the link will be down in the description if you even see this. To explain the amount of repetition between cards that we were seeing in our combos, it's really because you have 12 slots here that kind of get you into each other, with the 15 in the Pegasus that you're really searching off the Crystal Bond in order to get you into the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, so that you can out another level 4, whatever you need, along with getting you a Rainbow Dragon, which can make the Awakening live. the Awakening can then either search one of your Rainbow Bridge cards, your Salvation, or special summon out another one of your Crystal Beasts, which you'll really only be using in order to bring out one of your Pegasus. Only do this one if you do have the Advanced Dark on board. The Carbuncle is another big target that you can bring out from it. See that we also have the goods, and it's to send the Salvation is an important piece to this deck. Necro Valley is just able to provide that extra layer, your opponent not being able to do stuff in certain matchups, which kind of helps a lot. I think that the Thrust is also good in this because you do have a lot of important normal spell cards that you kind of do want to see. You can also get yourself Imperm, Evenly, or Talons. Fenrir's you don't have to play, they could be something else like Book of Moons or Book of Eclipse. I do think it's nice to be able to see that extra body on board and also be full going second. I think that's all I really have to say about the main deck. So, as for the options, Prosperity is definitely an option, even if you don't want to play the Fenrir's. I do play the Fenrir's over the Prosperity because it's another going second card, but if you want to have more gas, the Prosperity totally makes sense. The Rise Heart is another option that you can play if you play the Fenrir's and don't want to play the Merrymaker Regulus stuff. Then we do have the Nightmare Griffin, which is an option. Zeus was a tough one to take out of this deck, but I did so for the Merrymaker package. I felt was still worth it, especially since you're kind of just linking it away. Thing with Dugaris and Levier, when you do make them, you sort of are linking them away. Rise Falcon is just an option that I put here because of the combo that I showed earlier, which you can get your extra name into the graveyard or field this way if you play the regular Cobalt Eagle. The Dweller is out for now, and it's just because of the format that it is. Definitely could come back into the extra deck. Dark Ruler no more and the Monster Reborn on more targets for your Thrust. Book of Eclipse, as mentioned earlier, is another going second option, as well as your Kaijus and your Slumber. Last things I would like to touch up on the extra deck are the Skulldred and the Zealantis, and while it does take extra deck space, I think it's totally worth it. Zealantis could be interesting removal versus some decks, so the Skulldred just gets you into draws. Zealantis is also able to re-trigger your Pegasus, so your Skulldred can special summon out another Pegasus, so those are all things that you kind of do have to consider when playing these cards. Outside of that, I think that's all I really have to say about the deck. I'll get onto the card by card. One copy of Regulus, the 2 Rainbow Dragon, Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, the 1 Cobalt Eagle, the 3 Crystal Bond, the 3 Pegasus, the 1 Advanced Dark Pegasus, the 1 Advanced Dark Cat, the 1 Cat, the 3 Rainbow Bridge, the 1 Advanced Dark Carbuncle, the 1 Carbuncle, the Necro Valley and the Advanced Dark, Called by the Grave and Crystal Beacon, the 3 Awakening, the 3 Rainbow Bridge, the 3 Foolish Burial Goods, the 3 Fenrir's, the 1 Conclave, the 1 Salvation, the Evenly, the 2 Imperms, the 1 Tactic Talents, and the 2 Thrust to round out the main deck. For the extra deck, we have the Zealantis, the Skulldred, Appaloosa, Nightmare Unicorn, Cross Sheep, Cherubini, IP Masquerena, the 2 Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive, the 1 Rainbow Overdragon, 1 Sargus, Merrymaker, Burguska, Dugaris, and Levier to round out the deck profile. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. It's Bones, signing out.